Salma, hello. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you, Victoria.
Hi, great to see you. Love the pink on you. Listen, you were loved so much in the first film. They brought you back as the lead in the sequel. That has to be such a good feeling.
It's like divine justice. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like, what? I was so excited. I was so excited. If it was going to happen in any of them, this was the one because I love the guys.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love Sam and Ryan.
you all did so well together. And I hear that there was a lot of improv. So you guys
A
just kind of
lot. Yes.
off the
Well, yeah, Sam and I were in the van, and every time we're together, sometimes in the car, there's a lot of action happening, and then Patrick would just say, just improvise the entire time, improvise the entire time. We're like, again, okay, let's go. And what?
I was gonna say, did you like that, or was it kind of like added pressure for you?
I love it. I
Oh,
love it. And when you get to do it with the masters,
yeah.
I mean, uh, with Ryan, we had some structure scenes that all the dialogue went, and we restructured and we did stuff, and it was just kind of magical. It was just kind of magical. The one in the swing, completely. The one outside of the car when we get him out, completely improvised.
Oh my gosh. You guys did well, it came through. You guys did so well in this film, in the comedy, but also like you're such a badass in this film. And I love seeing it. There was a lot of scenes that I feel like could have caused a lot of bumps and bruises. And I'm curious to know, were there real bumps and bruises in real life? And how many times did you slap Ryan behind the scenes to get the perfect take?
I slapped him a couple of times. That was really hard. I did feel very bad because they told me you can hit him everywhere except the glasses. And I hit exactly the glasses. And I knew that hurt. But it hurt me too, by the way. I didn't mean to. But the noise that came out of him was so not even human. And his reaction was so funny. I did it a couple of times. Now, in the car, I
Mhm.
walked him a lot. That was a lot of takes.
Yeah.
In the car, just walking him in the back, that was more takes.
Oh my God. His poor face and your poor hand. Um, what made you say yes to this role?
How could I possibly say no? How
Hmm.
could I possibly say no? And Patrick was really generous and heard me out and invited me in the creation of the character, development of the character, of the script. We had a lot of laughs together in his process of writing it, and I just think that Sam Jackson and Ryan Reynolds are the top class for
Yeah,
action comedy. They can do many more things, but it just doesn't get better than that.
it really
And I
doesn't.
love comedy.
Well, I do too. And I think a lot of people do. And you guys did such a perfect mix between action and comedy. I loved the comedy relief in it. So thank you so much, Selma. I
Thank
hope
you
you have a
so much.
wonderful day. And congratulations. Patrick, how are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
Good. I'm doing so well. Listen, congratulations on this film. The sequel is absolutely amazing. I have to start by asking, what made you choose to make Selma the lead of this one?
To me, it was just an organic process. I mean, it just felt like, the first film had set up this dynamic relationship between Sam and Ryan, and Sam was like this overbearing, sort of disgruntled father figure, and Ryan was like a man child in deep need of, validation issues. And then, like that had a family dynamic in its own right. And then to me, it was, well, let's get Salma out of prison. Let's put her on the road trip. That's not only going to make Ryan suffer more, because if he's got to try and survive a trip with Sam Jackson, it's like, well, now you got to survive it with Sam and Selma. And then it sort of completed that image of the mother, the father, and the child. It's a strange family, but it makes for some sort of outlandish, crazy action and comedy. So yeah.
Is there anything about filming, or is there anything about directing the first one that made this one a little bit easier, or was it a little bit more of a challenge?
No, this one was certainly more of a challenge because I think it was like was some of the stunts involved were bigger, and so there's bigger action, and there's more stars involved, so it's just everything's a little bit more, and you're spinning a lot more plates. I don't think it never gets easier. I mean, it gets like certainly it's a craft. So the more movies you're making, the more you realize, yeah, okay, I've sort of done a version of this before, and you sort of relax into that flow state. But every film's exhausting. It doesn't matter what the budget or the style or the genre. They're utterly brutal. But the satisfaction you get from when you do wrangle all those elements together and then things really zing, that's for me, that's the juice. That's what I live for. So, yeah.
Without mentioning what happens at the end, the ending caught me so far off guard, but I loved it. And I was like, literally, whose idea was this? Was that a collective idea, or was that one? No. Person?
That was my idea. Like when I was thinking about what to do with number 3, I like to think of like, and especially in with the dynamics of our plot is like, because Ryan's a suffering fool, I always think first and foremost, what is the worst possible scenario I can put this character in? Like, what's the worst thing I can do to him?
Yeah.
And I actually just worked backwards from that. Like that was the idea I had, was just like, okay, that would be the worst possible outcome. Well, how did we arrive at this outcome? Oh, because, that's because she's on honeymoon, because she's, and why can't she get what she wants? Oh, right. And then that's the fun. It's like how you make all the interaction between all these sort of conflict, the through lines between all these characters, that they're also somehow all intertwined to one another, and they're all responsible for each other's failings. So yeah,
it's a fun dynamic to watch, and you guys did such a fabulous job with this one, acting, or adding in so much comedic relief. Ryan takes quite a beating.
Just a slight one.
Was that like fun to watch a little bit, or was it a little bit cringy for you?
Oh my God, no. Do you realize the joy I have in hurting Ryan on a daily basis? Like every day he rocks up, he's like, great. So what are we going to do today? And I'm like, I'm going to shoot you with a shotgun. You're going to fly through that wall. You're going to hit all that glass. You're going to roll out, and then you're going to have cuts because all the glass is all over your face. He's like, oh, great. Or it's like, what are we doing today? I'm going to hit you with that car. I'm going to throw you in that river.
He handled it like a trooper, and you guys.
I know. And he walks around set, and he's all tattered suit and all these cuts and bruises and all these things, right? And he just looks like a degenerate person with gambling debts. And it's like, yeah, wow. Aren't you meant to be like some handsome leading man? Because right now you don't look it, Ryan.
Yeah, he took on a different role in this film. And again, I can't congratulate you enough. This film is awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Patrick.
Oh, that means a lot. Thank you.